Hello everybody and welcome to our online lecture series. Today we are going to look at chapter number 2 in political science, that is electoral process. Let us start. Elections have played a major role in working of India's democracy. Elections and representation are two very important processes in democracy. We know that people's representatives are selected through elections. Elections helps to bring a change in power through peaceful means. Different political parties get an opportunity to rule. Policies of the government and the life of society also changes. We expect that the representatives we elect should be efficient, honest, and trustworthy, and that they should respect the opinions of the people. Now, you can see right in the introduction of this chapter, what they are telling us is that election is fundamentally a very important process in the building of democracy. Now, if you don't have elections, that means representatives are not elected, and the elected representatives are supposed to be carrying out their functions in a free and fair manner. So, in order to elect representatives, we need to vote. All right. To ensure that the Constitution of India has made provision for an independent election commission to administer the election process in India. The Election Commission of India and the state level election commissions conduct all important elections in our country. So we have an independent governmental body which takes care of our elections, and this governmental body sees to it that elections happen in a very systematic manner throughout the country. A few days earlier, I had read an article where it had written that in India, elections are held at different places almost every day. Yeah, you will be shocked to know that, as I was shocked to know that as well. That how is this possible? Yes, elections on mayor level, elections on you can say state level elections, mayor level elections, so on and so forth, happen throughout the country. So, for a big nation like India to administer elections on such a big level, you need an independent governmental body. And what is that independent governmental body that I'm talking about? It is the Election Commission. Now, please pay attention over here. We begin our chapter with this first and very important point, that is of the Election Commission. Now, what is the work of the Election Commission? How election commissioners are elected? How does government appoint them? And if government appoints, then how it is an independent organization? How is it free from corruption? And these things, we'll look into the matter. Now, please understand, my dear friends, that election commissioner are mostly IS officers. These are officers which have studied hard and they have come to the topmost ranks from the bottom of the society by giving exams. And it's not like a kind of system where there is nepotism or like this. For being an election commissioner, you have to serve in the Indian administrative services. All right. So let us see what is election commission about. In India, the election commission is central to the process of elections. Article 324 of the Indian Constitution has established this autonomous body. What do you mean by autonomous body? It means independent body. There is a different budget for this. They have different powers. They can, hire police in order to make this process smooth. So they are autonomous. They are independent. Government doesn't control them. Which consists of one election commissioner and two other commissioners. Alright. So, chief election commissioner is the head, and then he has some subordinates also who help him carry out the work. Now, a name which I am highlighting over here now is very important. Sukumar Sen. Why is he important? He is important because he was the first election commissioner after independence. So, who was he? He was a civil servant. You can see in the image right here. And he effectively handled the elections in India. Now, who appoints the election commissioner? The election commissioner is appointed by the President of India. All right. The chief election commissioner cannot be removed from his post easily. or on account of any political reasons. Yes, this reminds me of a election commissioner who was very strict. T.N. Session his name was. I guess he passed away recently. He was one of the most strict election commissioners. Politicians को बहुत control में रखते थे वो. Is very strict. You can Google him. This is necessary so as to preserve the independence of election commissioner. Yes, election commissioner. Sorry. Why is this important? Government के कोई भी लोग उनको हटाएंगे if they are doing their strict work. So they are being kept away and nobody can take them out from the post. The election commission does not have a separate staff. Alright, you need to remember this because they don't have work on a daily basis. So what they do? They collaborate with government officers like teachers, then different officers, different governmental agencies, governmental bodies. उनको साथ लेके इलेक्शंस करते. इसीलिए तुमने बहुत बार देखा होगा इलेक्शन बूथ्स के बाहर you will always see teachers and all helping out the voters in general. Alright, this brings us to the end of the introduction. Now what are the functions? काम क्या होते हैं? What are the different working systems of election commission? Number one is preparing the voter list. Now, why do they have to make a voter list? Simply because you need certain identity. जैसे तुम स्कूल के अंदर जाते हो तो you need I cards, right? Your I cards need to be checked first and then you are let. Similarly, if you have a systematic voter list, you understand how many people are there in that area, how many people will come, how many people will vote, and so on and so forth. You have to make arrangements. Now, who does that? Some teachers are appointed. Those teachers take care of making the voting list. Now, number two function is to decide the timetable and program of elections. Now, after every 5 years, we have elections in state, we have elections on the local bodies, I told you in the last chapter also. And after 5 years, we have elections at the national level. At national level, we elect PM, at state level, we elect CM, at local body, we elect mayor. Now, deciding the timetable and program of the election is very important since these two should be they should not collide with each other. It should not collide with any national festival. It should not collide with any other national event so that people will not come out for voting. So they have to make certain provisions so that timetables and programs of the election commission stay away from certain festivals and all. And they have to declare that in every states. Scrutiny means closely monitoring the applications of candidate. Now a lot of time election में जो लोग खड़े होते वो गलत information देते. They tell wrong things about themselves, that they own so and so property, that they own so little businesses and they don't have any assets and they don't have lot of properties with them, lot of cash, gold. Their assets are shown very little. So in इलेक्शन कमीशंस के पास जो फॉर्म्स आते हैं इन फॉर्म को उनको मॉनिटर करना पड़ता है, स्क्रूटिनाइज करना पड़ता है. ऑलराइट, कैंडिडेट्स ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज एज वेल एज इंडिपेंडेंट कैंडिडेट्स हैव टू फिल एप्लीकेशंस. जब तुम इलेक्शंस के लिए खड़े रहते हो तो एप्लीकेशंस भरने पड़ते हैं. तो इलेक्शन कमीशन का काम क्या होता है? इन एप्लीकेशंस को देखना, इनको जांच करना, वेदर दे हैव एनी फ्लॉस. इफ दे हैव फ्लॉस देन उनको इलेक्शन से रद्द कर देते हैं. उनकी whatever their post is, they are being taken out. Number 4 is give recognition to political parties. Whenever a political party is opened or a new political party comes into existence, it has to be given a recognition. What do you mean by giving a recognition? Means they have to say whether the party is a state level party or whether the party is national level party. And they have to give them certain symbols, right? जैसे मनसे का रेलवे इंजन है, शिवसेना का धनुष्य बाण है, बीजेपी का कमल है, कांग्रेस का हाथ है, so on and so forth. So these parties are registered. So इन parties को legally register करना और एक काम होता है. We move towards the 5th point now. What is it? To resolve any disputes relating to elections. Now, when elections are taken place, if somebody accuses that there have been malpractices, fraud हुआ है elections में, पैसा use किया है, so on and so forth, if such blames are made, then what to do? So election commission देखता है कि ये सब चीज़ें ठीक से हुई है कि नहीं है. वो independent inquiries करते, and they have the power to overthrow any candidate if any disputes arise. Alright. So to declare any candidate as disqualified or conduct re-election in a particular constituency is the responsibility of election commission. Let us quickly revise the 5 points: preparing the voter list, deciding the timetable and the program of elections, scrutiny of applications of candidates, giving recognition to political parties, and number 5, to resolve any disputes relating to elections. Moving on. Now you should remember this person, Sham Charan Negi. He was from Himachal and he was the first voter of India. Alright. First elections में उसने पहला वोट उसका था. He is wearing a Himachali cap. Alright. Moving on. Now see how is the process of election. First you have to establish constituencies, मतदार संघ जिसको हम कहते हैं. फिर वोटर लिस्ट को फाइनल करना, कैंडिडेट्स के नॉमिनेशन लेना जो इलेक्शंस के लिए खड़ा रह रहा है. फिर इलेक्शन कैंपेन होता है, रैलीज वगैरह वगैरह, मोर्चास, रैलीज, ऑल थिंग. एक्चुअल वोटिंग, काउंटिंग ऑफ वोट्स, फिर रिजल्ट्स आते, और रिजल्ट्स के बाद अगर किसी को उस रिजल्ट से प्रॉब्लम है तो वो रिजॉल्व किया जाता है. नाउ हाउ डू यू स्ट्रक्चर अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी. इंडिया में टोटल 543 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज. कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज को दो आधार पे देखा जाता है. नंबर 1 एरिया, नंबर 2 पॉपुलेशन. इफ़ एरिया इज़ मोर and population is less, then constituency उसी आधार पे देखी जाती है. If area is very less but population is more, तो उधर ज़्यादा constituencies होती है. Alright. तो ये कौन करता है? तो इसकी कमेटी होती है. Alright. There is a committee in लोक सभा उसको delimitation committee कहा जाता है. Alright. The delimitation committee does not succumb to any pressure and they make constituencies accordingly. Alright. Now what is a code of conduct? See, elections होने से पहले या elections जिस दिन वोटिंग कास्ट करनी है उससे कुछ दिन पहले there has to be certain strict laws that are followed. All the election symbols are hidden. Nobody is allowed to give rallies or speeches, these kind of things, to ensure a free and fair election. So code of conduct मतलब क्या? एक कोड है. कोड मतलब क्या? रूल. कंडक्ट मतलब क्या? बिहेवियर. किस तरीके से हम कंडक्ट करने वाले हैं अपने आप को व्हेन ड्यूरिंग इलेक्शन टाइम, व्हेन इलेक्शन इज हैपनिंग, उससे कुछ दिन पहले. सो इफ एनीवन वायोलेट्स कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट तो इलेक्शन कमीशन उसके ऊपर स्ट्रिक्ट कार्रवाई करता है. ऑलराइट. दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू डू दैट. सो दैट इज कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट. कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट को बहुत ही ध्यान से पढ़ना हुआ एग्जाम में आता है. ऑलराइट. नाउ challenges in conducting free and fair elections. What is in this? Please remember, in India there is a lot of misuse of money that happens whenever there is elections. These politicians are filthy rich. They will put in money for votes and this all happens illegally. छुप के चलता है. Therefore उनको पकड़ना आसान नहीं होता. So सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज होता है कि मनी पावर. दूसरा पावर होता है मसल पावर. मनी पावर एंड मसल पावर. जो भी पॉलिटिशियन होता है, he has lots of money and his गुंडाज आर देयर, तो उनको मैनेज करना, वो लोगों को डरा के धमका के पैसे दे के वोटिंग करवाते. तो इलेक्शन कमीशन को देखना पड़ता है कि ये सब नहीं हो. Many political parties give election tickets to candidates with criminal backgrounds. Right? Criminalization in politics. This is another problem. You all know this. That a lot of criminals come in. Then violence during elections, मारपीट होती है बूथ के ऊपर, या दो गुंडे खड़े इलेक्शंस में, उनके पंटर in your language, they come and they fight. So all this creates a big problem. To retain a continuing influence on politics, leaders give election tickets to their own relatives. This practice creates a family monopoly, which means there is nepotism. Nepotism मतलब क्या? after father the son will become, after the son his son, his son. I say the same people keep on coming, and they are only participating. So election commission has to see that everyone gets a free and fair chance. To increase participation of women. Now I discussed this in the previous chapter. If you did not tune into that lecture, you can go back and find out the lecture again, where I've talked extensively on the role of women in politics. If there are less women, we will have less women raising voices and concerns of women in parliament. And if nobody is raising voices and concerns of women in parliament, we will not be a better society. Alright. So local government में तो हमने किया है कि 50% men, 50% women. Now we have to do it on state and national level, but that is going to take a lot of time. Till then, women have to empower themselves. Alright. Moving on. Political parties should not give candidature to candidates having criminal backgrounds. We discussed that. So, another thing is using of money. Right? Government should take care of election expenses so that people will not spend a lot of money. If I have a lot of money, I can arrange big rallies, I can bring in star campaigners, they can come and they can help me win the elections. But if I'm a poor candidate, nobody is going to stand by my side. I won't have money. So this won't be a fair chance. So what are electoral reforms over here? We are talking about electoral reforms मतलब the changes. Reforms मतलब क्या? उस चीज़ को purify करना, उसके flaws निकालना. So it's a continuous process. Alright, remember this. It's not one day. It's going to happen over a period of time. And what we have to do is we have to take care of these things. That people from powerful families and people having lots of money should not be the only one coming into politics. Representation of People's Act should be amended so that candidates having criminal background won't be able to participate in elections. Now you will ask me one question which will be in your mind, I know. कि sir ये इतने सारे laws है ये है फिर भी why do we have criminals coming into politics? Now please understand these criminals are facing charges. ऐसा नहीं कि उनको उस charges के लिए उनको सज़ा मिली है. या ऐसे भी होता है that they are later on पहले उनके ऊपर ये दोष उनके ऊपर लगा थे, cases उनके ऊपर फाइल करे थे, but later on these people are acquitted. उनको छोड़ा जाता है cases से. So then they can stand for elections. So please understand this. कि even if they are criminals now, they cannot be criminals all their lives. Alright. So जहाँ पे भी laws है वहाँ पे कुछ ना कुछ flaw है और उस flaw को देख के ये politics के अंदर घुस जाते हैं. Now this thing comes in the paper all the time, most of the time. Journey from ballot boxes to EVM machines. Earlier we used to put a stamp on a paper and envelope में उसको fold करके इस ballot box में तुम्हारे सामने जो है उसमें डालते थे. Now this practice was very outdated practice. इसके लिए बहुत सारे papers लगते थे. More papers means cutting down trees on a large scale. So government finally stopped that. And after 1990, they set up voting machines in which you have to go and press a button and a paper comes out, which is now we call as VPAT. VPAT is coming in the next topic. Then these machines are suitable for even the disabled people, people who cannot see, so they can they are written in braille also. Alright, so they can vote also. Nota, none of the above. If you find that all the candidates standing in the elections are useless, alright, equally useless, then you can press nota. None of them will be elected. Moving on to VPAT, you can see voter verified paper audit. Means what? When I press the button and I see if I vote for, let us say, Shiv Sena, alright, just giving an example. If I vote for Shiv Sena, then I will see a bow and arrow, a paper like which comes from ATM machine. Similarly like that, it comes and it falls down. Later on votes and that paper both is counted. Now you will see, sir, फिर क्या फ़ायदा, उससे अच्छा ballot boxes होते. But no, it is just for verification and it doesn't happen all the time. But due to voting machines, one more benefit of voting machine is that election results बहुत fast आते immediately, because machine does the counting work. Earlier human beings used to do the work, so it used to take a lot of time. Alright, now let us understand three concepts and we will hang on for the lecture for today. General elections, which are the elections held for Lok Sabha, in which we elect PM. Midterm elections, if the government that is in progress, the government fails or the government falls, right? बहुत बार कोलिएशन में होते हैं, मतलब 2-3 पार्टीज, जैसे महाराष्ट्र में अभी है ना, शिवसेना, कांग्रेस और राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस. So if one party takes away the confidence or it pulls out from the coalition, फिर सरकार गिर जाती, it falls. And then there are elections happening in the midterms, मतलब बीच में ही. So they are called midterm elections. And by-elections means sometimes if somebody is elected, he dies in accident or something happens, alright, that is not able to look for after the people, then we conduct by-elections. I hope I have covered all the necessary points in this chapter. I want you to now close your eyes and listen to whatever I have, recall it, everything in your brain again. Try to recollect important points, see whether if you have understood what all I have spoken, and if there are any doubts, you can ask in the comment section or you can directly put the doubts forward to me directly. Alright, thank you so much.